Okay guys, welcome back to the channel. Here we are, welcome to the channel. First of all, thank you for clicking on my video. Couldn't resist jumping back into these files. So we're currently on the US Department of War's main website. I made a video earlier covering all the videos that was available to us, gone through some of the photos, but I've since found out that within some of these PDF files, there's apparently hundreds of different like events and things within them files, so we're going to be diving into a few of them. So after seeing that video that I've just watched, I thought I'll jump in and see if we can have a look at some of these PDFs. Straight away at the top of this one, I found another video. Now if you watched my video from earlier on, we started on around number 8 or 9, because that's where I just seen video and watched. We went through all of the videos, can't remember how many there was in total. So if you do want to see all the videos that's been currently released, check out my previous video. So as I've said in my previous live stream as well, I used to have a U.A.P channel called To The Edge Academy. I had over 1,000 subscribers. Just never really took it anywhere and just basically focused on my gaming channel. So unfortunately I can't go live for long periods of time on any of my other YouTube channels or my sister channels as such. So while I've got this platform, I may as well use it. Now, obviously, if you're expecting a bit of gaming, I know it's weekend. We know we've got the big fight on and stuff tomorrow, Daniel Dubois and Wardley. So, you know, there's loads of stuff I'm actually interested in, but UAPs and the phenomena itself has been kind of like an ongoing kind of belief system to some degree, which I've had since I was very, very young, and hence why I made the to the Edge Academy after when in 2017 we got ordered to the Stars Academy, coming out with Tom DeLong and Luis Elizondo. So in today's video, like I say, I've just found this one here. Straight away it says NASA UAP D3A Gemini 7 audio excerpt 1965. So this is what we're going to look at first, and then maybe just try and go through some of these PDFs and try and dig a little bit deeper into some of them PDFs and scroll, because when I seen the other ones earlier and I said I was like, feel like I'm in X-Files looking at these old documents and stuff. I didn't realize you could probably like scroll down and there's loads more information and testimonies and witness statements and things like in them. So I am probably going to look into some of them once we've just checked this out. So we've got this NASA one here. Completely missed it earlier. I know it says a video on this one, so let's have a listen to this one.
Control here again. Earlier in the flight, you'll recall at the start of the second revolution, we had a reference to several objects that the crew spotted. This was in the area of Antigua. Due to a mechanical breakdown, we did not have that portion of the tape available for you. This was a line breakdown between Building 30 and our news center in Building 6. Since then, we have dubbed the tape off the master tape here in the control center, and we are now prepared to play it for you. It contains references to sighting not only some particles, but as well as an unidentified object, plus the booster. Here's that tape. We'll play it for you now.
Gemini 7 here, Houston 98.
Loud and clear. 7, go ahead.
Bogey at 10 o'clock high.
This is Houston. Say again, 7.
So we have a bogey at 10 o'clock high.
Roger. Gemini 7, is that the booster or is that an actual sighting?
Oh, what?
Say again, 7.
Okay, we have several, looks like the 3 up there, actual sighting.
You have any more information, estimated distance or size?
And we also have the booster inside.
Understand you also have the booster in sight, roger.
And we have very, very many, looks like hundreds of little particles going by to the left out about 3 to 4 miles.
Understand you have many small particles going by on the left. At what distance?
4 miles. Large, looks like perhaps a vehicle that's disintegrated.
Roger, understand they're about 3 to 4 miles away.
They're past now, they're going to polar orbit.
Roger, and understand they were about 3 to 4 miles away.
Toward the pier line, or further.
Roger. Gemini 7, Houston, were these particles in addition to the booster and the bogey at 10 o'clock high? Roger.
7, this is, Houston, this is 7.
Go ahead.
I have the booster on my side as a brilliant body in the sun against a black background and with billions of particles around it.
Roger, what direction is it from you?
It's about at my 2 o'clock position.
Does that mean it's ahead of you?
It's affirmative, ahead of us, 2 o'clock, slowly tumbling.
Roger.
Okay, so I'm just going to pause it there. So just from that section there, obviously it states here on the left hand side, occurred in December the 5th, 1965 from the Gemini 7 mission. Now, what I was kind of taking from that there is the astronaut, which it says, what is his name? Frank Borman, reports to NASA Mission Control in Houston. He was stating that this object was at 2 o'clock, and there was reference in the booster, which he clearly said it can also see that to his side. So it's not that is describing there.
OS 91.
Don't know if there's any more talking.
No, Fox 91.
Another one.
No, Fox 1.
So there are
91,
many
second.
particles there. There's like fucking lasers from Star Wars, that is. Okay, so we've got about 40 seconds left.
Gemini Control here again. The reference in that conversation to the third unidentified object, of course, or the third object, was bogey. There were several references to the bogey. This is the unidentified object in addition to particles which appear to be headed in a polar orbit, you heard Frank Borman say, plus Jim Lovell discussing the booster. It was Borman who reported sighting the bogey. This is Gemini Control Houston at 4 hours, 24 minutes into the flight.
Do you know what I mean? So it says there, obviously, it says here 1965, the 4th of December. Up here it says the 5th of December 1965, so maybe there's something with the time on that one. But you know, I find that fascinating that they're seeing these particles, but yet they're saying they can see the booster as well. I mean, they've known this since 1965, and I'm surprised if any NASA don't have any, you know, video footage. So we've got this one here, next Germany. It's a PDF. If I press Control, I should be able to zoom in here. There we go. So now, if I zoom in, how do I move it across to the left some? Well, that don't work. Can we big that document up? No. And maybe that's about best I can get it, but I can't even really read that. I thought from the video I seen earlier there was a way you can like scroll down on these documents, and in these documents there's a plethora, loads of different documents within it. But I'm scrolling my mouse wheel down, I can't really see anything here, but it's declassified. Let's see if I can read it. Reference to from the tutorial air command through. I'm not going to be able to read that. Where's that magnifier gone? Yeah, I'm not going to be able to read that. So let's try this one. See, I don't understand. If I zoom in, there should be a bar at the bottom, so I can then scroll that to the. That's as far as I can zoom in. I should be able to double click that to load that up, obviously without downloading it. Intelligence report from 1948. So it's things like that I do want to be reading from 1948, because that's just after obviously the Roswell incident. Why can't I? Why don't they allow me to? It says top secret crossed out. So I thought, why is there just one document? How do I scroll through the rest that's in there? We'll figure it out. Not applicable. PDF. I can read this one. So let me try and big that up. See if it makes. Does it actually? That's probably best. I'm going to get that. So this 2-page says 2-page. So how do I access the second page? So this 2-page memorandum dated July the 18th, 1952. Excellent. So that's around Washington Flat Times. Relates to increased reports of unidentified flying objects. Included in the record are possible explanations of increased sightings such as technological improvements, historical records of UFOs, and US Air Force opinions on UFOs. So let's just have a read, see if we can just get a little bit of information out of this. In fact, if I just pull my screen a little bit closer, that'll help with my poor eyes. So official use only. Executive Office of the President, National Aeronautics and Space Council, Washington. So Washington, like I say, DC, 1952. It says there Washington 25 DC. Mr. Robert F. Packard, Office of International Scientific Affairs. Don't know what this handwritten notes are. SP16. Official use only been crossed out. I think down at the bottom it says signed or something, and then a signature. So right, subject, thoughts on the space alien race question. So the document there, race tick tick under space alien race. During recent discussions, the question has occasionally, through rarely, let's say Arison, that perhaps we should consider the policy questions of what to do if an alien intelligence is discovered in space. Some discussions of this occurred, as you will recall, during the deliberations on BNSP Task 1. This memo contains some miscellaneous thoughts on the question. The consensus of scientific view says, with quite good reasons, that the possibility of running across an alien intelligent race in our solar system is negligible. This is due primarily to the presumed unsuitability of conditions upon their planet to support life as we know it. The flying saucer advocate claims, of course, that the scientific viewpoint is nonsense, and that there is overwhelming evidence of such beings. In my own mind, I find it difficult to side with the flying saucer advocates, but the almost total impossibility envisioned by most scientists also is disturbing. Therefore, I present the problem in current perspective as I see it. Up until a few decades ago, it seemed very improbable that intelligent life existed anywhere outside of our solar system. The chief reasons for this were a combination of scientific theory, scientific knowledge, and religious belief. The most widely accepted scientific theory as to the formation of a solar planetary system held it was a result of the near collision of two stars, since such precise near miss. And then how do I get to the second page? So I'm unsure. But that's telling me, the take I take from that is obviously talking about obviously being other life in our solar system, which is obviously more or less 100% that it does exist somewhere in the solar system, and not really talking about with us. That's the document, that's the last one. So this one. So are they the two? This is 1963, but it reads the same as the other one, doesn't it? With space a running question. During the recent discussion, the question has occasionally through rarely arisen that perhaps we should consider the policy questions. So why is that the same as this? One's 1952 and one's 1963. I don't know. Let's just click on them and find. Yeah, still got no option to scroll through these within them. I thought you could like click on this and there'd be more within it. Just seems nothing to see here, nothing to see here. So, mission report, Iraq, December 2022. Same again, no access to more pages. After finding the NASA like audio from the mission in 1965, I just thought I need to go live. Let's just go live, get back on it and see what we can find. We need to shuffle through all of these files and documents. But if there's a way, I mean, I see somebody else has joined in. If you know yourself how we cycle through these, there's supposed to be more pages than just this one. And then drop a comment below, let me know. So what is this one? This document is a mission report, a standardized report from the US military used to record the circumstances surrounding its operations. US military service office often uses MIS reps to report unidentified anomalous phenomena to ARROW. The GenText or general text section of this report often contains important qualitative contextual information distinguishing it from the more quantitative or numerical data found elsewhere in the report. The US military operated reported observing one possible U.A.P flying from west to east. The observer did not pursue the U.A.P. Okay, so is this a report? Misrep. So this is what somebody's reported. Probably obviously a pilot or something, because it says he didn't pursue it. Admin, classification, classified, secrets crossed out, classified sources, MS and classification guide, multiple sources, no date, year or month, operations, resolve, so same again, nothing really to see here, but it's just collecting the information of these reports that people have made, whether they're from pilots or astronauts. And obviously they've had these reports, but what have they actually done with the reports, if you know what I mean? And I imagine in like the what's it's in 1965, surely they'd have had some form of cameras or whatever on these. I mean, this here is just another submitted misrep report. Range file report form. I mean, we do need some kind of, you know how like military personnel have been kind of forced to sign NDAs if they kind of whistleblow. They definitely need some form of protection, so when they do come out and they do start talking about these things, they're not obviously going to lose the job, the career. Obviously they're providing for the family and kids and stuff like that, so you know, if they come out and speak, it's like they get all the medical records checked and stuff like that, and then they have to basically go into hiding for speaking out. So they definitely need some NDA protection for them to be able to come out and speak, because these NDAs were probably forced to sign under a gun as well, or knife to the throat or some shit, scared for their life to even talk about any of it. So this document is a range file report form. Don't even know what this is. It's a standardized reporting from the US Navy, so it's Navy, used to record the circumstances surrounding unauthorized intrusion into controlled airspace during activity, military operations or training. These reports contain a narrative description of the observer's experiences. So with it being Navy, I mean, we know we've got the one that keeps being spoken about by Burchett, and I think Luis Elizondo spoke about it, saying this massive ship in the water, traveling at, what did they say, 400 or 500 knots or something. You know, it's video evidence like that is what we really need to see, into it. Or the one I keep mentioning where Ryan Graves, we're telling he's seen one size of a football field. So military operator reported observing a round cold object via infrared sensor traveling at 319 degrees northwest at approximately 20 miles per hour. The report described the UAP making abrupt directional changes during the event. So I've seen numerous stuff of that. The object's obviously just making abrupt changes in direction. Obviously the G-forces that would create on any of us kind of like just turn us to mush. So, you know, you could think, well, okay then, is it like AI robot inside them where they don't have to kind of anticipate them G-forces? We've seen a video in one of the videos that I made earlier today on my live stream where one of the craft made a somewhat 90-degree turn. So that was October 2022. And same again, it'll just turn you to mush. So they must have some kind of field or something around them that they're operating within, which would obviously coincide with the what's it called when they're not multiplanetary? All the different mediums that they can travel in. Because obviously the one with the water, that they don't kind of disturb the water. So what we've got here, the document is an email correspondence describing the content of a mission report and requesting clarification on its content. All descriptive and estimative language contained in this report reflects the reporter's subjective interpretation at the time of the event. Such characterization should not be interpreted as a conclusive indication of the presence or absence of any intrinsic object, feature or performance characteristics. So, just bear with me a second. See if we can just big that up a little bit more. That there, no, that's probably where I were. Thank you for your patience on this. Like I said, this was a first for me. Upon consulting internally here at HQ, our folks confirmed we do have the authority to process this as I can't really read that, some classification review instead of a declassified request based upon the summary you provided below. I concur with using this as unclassified level in your product. Consider your request approved. Please let me know if there's anything else I can do for you. So same again, another report. not really acting on it. So there's a video there. Don't know if we've seen this video, but we're going to watch it because it's within these PDFs on 8. Maybe I've watched this one. Yeah, we've watched this one. I'll watch it again anyway because it's only 5 seconds. It was the great, like, they say in that one it could be a missile or something, possibly a missile there. And then page 9, we've got all the videos which I went through earlier. Check out my previous live stream if you want to see all those videos. We've gone through all of those. I believe we've gone through all of these. We'll just see if there's any more. We've got some images here. They're probably off. Yeah, they're off the main homepage. I believe these are maybe images of them videos as well, little snapshots. PDF. Now, if there's any videos in and amongst 13 up to 17, then we've definitely not watched them. Just got a few more images. Are they from the same 1969? So I've not really touched on this one. What is this? Let's have a look. This. Can I just zoom that in a little bit for people? That's probably the best I'm going to get it. Let me just come over and move that up a little. I can't even move it up. That is the bottom of the screen. So there, it's probably the best I'm going to get it. So this archival photograph depicts the lunar surface as viewed from the landing site of Apollo 12. This image features a highlighted area of interest slightly to the right of the vertical axis of the frame, above the horizon in which unidentified phenomena are visible. This image has been modified from its original state to assist viewers in identifying specific areas of interest. These highlights are provided for contextual purposes only, that is meaning these frames and stuff do not constitute any analytical judgment, investigative conclusion or factual determination regarding the nature or significance of the object matter. So same again, look at this. So this is from Apollo 12, 1969. So we've always thought for a long time, or I have anyway, NASA do have cameras, they have ships with cameras. They must have seen a shitload of stuff, and obviously when they're seeing this in say 1969, it's like, why in the hell would they just keep that hush hush? Why would they just bury this and say, oh, public can't see that? Why would they actually do that? Is it just because they don't actually understand it? They haven't got a clue? I don't get that. Why? If this was spotted in 1969, they've obviously not like looked at this image now in 2026 and they missed this bit and thought, oh, look, we can release that. Isn't that crazy? No. This piqued governmental people in positions at NASA and the military back in 1969. What's that? 50 years or something stupid. When you think about them two things together, it's just like, it's just crazy. That this really should have been reported at the time, but it obviously never was. Got some more. Apollo 12. This image features two highlighted areas of interest labelled Area 1 and Area 2, not Area 51 then. Slightly to the right of the vertical axis of the frame above the horizon in which unidentified phenomena are visible. So here and here, got two of them in Area 2. I can't see much in Area 1 if I'm being completely honest. Maybe there's just a slight little speck. Looks like there's 3 there actually. Obviously there is claims you can't see the stars from the moon. It just looks black. So these would be anomalous at the time. But same again, 1969, same mission, Apollo 12. They've seen these when they were there so many years ago, but never actually spoke about it, never said anything to the public. It's disgusting really, isn't it? We've got quite a few of these then. Do you know what I mean? And obviously these visible things are obviously not stars. So obviously these things know that the Apollo mission 12 is there on the moon and they've come to investigate. That's what I say. That's the original one. Well, this one's 1973. It's a document. Skylab of technical crew debriefing, June 30th, 1973. Not that much before I was born, this one. So launched on May the 14th, 1973, Skylab was the United States' first laboratory in space from 1973 to 1974, so 10 years. The station was visited by 3 crews. This document contains excerpts from all 3 crews to visit the station. In the first excerpts taken from Skylab first crew, technical debriefing from June 30th, 1973, highlights observations of lights flashes. The second excerpt taken from Skylab 1-3, technical crew debriefing from October 4th, 1973, highlights 2 observations, a satellite in similar orbit and another object with reddish hue to it. The final excerpt taken from the Skylab 1-4, technical crew debriefing from February 22nd, 1974, highlights an observation of flashing lights outside Skylab. I'm sure there's like 1 of 2, 1 of 3 and 1 of 4 of these. So are they on like separate pages? Unsure. See, like my arrow keys don't do anything as in to flick the page or anything. So I don't know. And what is Skylab? What is Skylab? Unless there's like this one. Yeah, is this page 26419? What's this? 22 of 4. National Aeronautics and Space Administration Apollo 17. Technical crew briefing. This document may be exempt from public disclosure under the Freedom of Information Act. So it says there, this document may be exempt from public disclosure under Freedom of Information Act. So when people like, what's his name, from Black Vault makes a FOIA request through Freedom of Information Act, this one may be exempt. Manned Spacecraft Center, Houston, Texas. I want to see all the pages. What? It's doing me head in. Just like earlier when I couldn't find the videos. Apollo 12. Back to their images. Yeah, there's so much I want to get into here. 1969. Oh no, same again. Drop a comment below if you know how we get into the pages within these pages. PDF. I am actually looking for more videos within these while I'm just scanning through them. See why I have a page 17 and nothing on it, if you know what I mean. Oh, there is one here. It's another PDF. So orbs, launching orbs. Read something similar to this earlier on. So this document is a summary of statement by 7 US persons employed by the federal government who separately reported observing several unidentified anomalous phenomena in the western United States over the course of 2 days in 2023, so pretty recent. The summary notes the US persons reported 4 distinct categories of experiences, including observing orbs, launching other orbs at a distance, observing a large stationary glowing orb at close estimated range, pursuing a large phenomenon near the ground, and observing a large seemingly transparent phenomena reported to be akin to the translucent kite. Although there is no technical data directly associated with this report, contextual factors such as these events sharing features with others reported to all domain anomaly through Arrow. The reporter's credibility and the potential anonymous nature of the events themselves combine to make this report among the most compelling within Arrow's current holdings. So that was because there were so many reports. How many did it say? 7. So not just one qualified official reported this, there were 7 in 2023. So time of day dusk on 2 separate days as well, so not just seen once. 3 teams of 2 federal law enforcement special agents, each USPR 1 through USPR 6, independently describe seeing orange orbs in the sky emit or launch smaller red orbs in groups of 2 to 4, with 3 being the general consensus. This is stated to have occurred at least 5 times. Each time the orange orbs would appear, launch red orbs, then disappear. The orange orb was only visible for 1 to 2 seconds. The red orbs would generally move away from the orange mother. Yeah, that's what I'm guessing, like a mothership spitting these red ones out. The mother orb in an horizontal path. But in a couple of instances, one red orb was stated to move, heading up at an angle, while another witness stated sometimes the red orbs would swoop down after being launched from the larger orange orb. These events were witnessed by multiple teams from varying locations and vantage points over a 2-day period. Due to the sequential nature of the events, it is not known whether these were a single orange mother ship orb that released the groups of red orbs or whether there were multiple orange orbs at play. I mean, that one's quite fascinating, isn't it? I like this one, even though we've not actually got no video footage of it, but we've got a statement by 7 US persons, all which were employed by federal government, separately as well, reported observing several unidentified anomalous phenomena. 2023, so not long ago. Orbs launching other orbs. Now I've seen quite a few videos of this, and obviously we look at them and think, obviously in today's world we've got AI. Back probably 10 years we had CGI, so you're just always second guessing whether these are just videos that we see now are fake and just created with AI, which is a bit of a fucking no-brainer. It just does your head in because you think, well, we're just getting to a point where some form of disclosure is happening, and 4, 5, 6 year ago AI kicks in. Probably not even that. What has it been? 3 year, 4 year? AI is now like just got so real to some degree to us as a viewer. When we look at AI, it's just like it's getting that real. You just don't know if it's real or fake anymore, which is bad because obviously in a UFO UAP world, we want clear, good quality footage of these orbs and the old cylindrical shapes, the flying saucers and stuff like that. It just kind of chucks that spanner in, so everybody's just confused. Whether that's by design, I do not know. But that's kind of why I always say I'd like to see some video footage from, say, like around 1952, 1960s, maybe 70s, because we didn't really have CGI and we didn't have AI, so that chucks that as in to say, well, that's that. You know, we didn't have it then, so you can't say it's AI. Some of the old photos which we've seen, the one up in Scotland and stuff like that, that's probably one of the clearest photos I've ever seen. But this one's quite good. It's on the last page. It's on 17. I didn't actually think there was anything here. And let's just see if we can dive into, go back to page 1. Try this first one. So I clicked on this at the beginning, and the reason I went back live again was because I seen this like Chinese guy talking about these files. He's done a bit of a deep dive. I think he is saying there's some link to biblical times and stuff within the documents is read. But what I picked up on is he'd click on this, and then he said within here he'd just scroll down, and there was more and more and more within this file. Now I'm not getting access to that. I don't know. You'll have to excuse if my headset dies like that, because it obviously thinks I'm not listening to any music or I've got no sounds coming through. It should realise I'm using my mic though, shouldn't it? And I'm not being able to like open these documents up and see more pages. So if there's ever one of 1, 1 of 2, 3 and 4 of 1, then they're not opening up. And this really is no good to me. And I did notice on one of my videos it says FOIP, so is that to do with freedom of information? That stamp, is that what that is? This one here, copied for FOIA requests. Use care and handling this file, transfer. You know, this, I can't really get any information from that. I may as well be looking at an Amazon delivery parcel with a barcode. So I can see there's a couple of people in here. If you know how to get into these each individual file so we can look at what's within them, drop a comment below. Because I've already done a full 2.5 hour, 3 hour video earlier on today doing all the videos and trying to highlight all the videos that they've released. So now I want to dive into more of these PDF files and see what I can find in amongst them. Because look, what good's that to me? This FBI document case file includes, see it says there, case file includes investigative records, eyewitness testimonies and public reports concerning unidentified flying objects and flying discs documented between June 1947 and July 1968. The records include high-profile incident accounts, photographic evidence from sites like Oak Ridge, TN, and technical proposals regarding potential propulsion systems. I want to see that shit. Where the beep is it? Case files. The FBI's case file includes objects, flying discs, documented. The records include high-profile incident accounts, photographic evidence from sites like Oak Ridge. So where is that? I click on this, it does nothing. I've tried arrow keys to like you're selecting through documents, page, nothing. Don't want to be typing, so I don't know. How did that guy access them? How did he get into that? Because I can't scroll down anywhere on the page. Let's just try zooming in. See if there's anything at the bottom. Nothing, look. No like 1 of 2, 1 of 3. Seems to have changed its opacity there. And it comes back, but just don't see it. Don't see it. Don't know how to get in it. Do I have to download it? Okay, I'll download it. There we go. We're in. We are in. We are in. So this is excellent. I'm like not using my noodle hammer. Didn't think you'd have to download all that. You think they'd be all on there. Maybe it's because they just need you to use your hard drive for space, maybe. Okay, so we're definitely in X files now. So the FBI. So let's get in here. And we've got quite a big screen as well. Hopefully that's lined up perfect for you guys. Somewhere around there. Maybe just lower that a little bit. That'll do, not it? So do not destroy. There we go. Now we're talking. Drop a comment below if you can't read that. If not, what I'll do is do that and just zoom in a little bit more. Maybe. But then can I scroll down? Yeah, I can use this here. Okay. So here we go. I shall do my best. I'm not the best reader in the world, but the fact that this is from when? 19 what? 47 to 1968. This is the type of times we want to be discussing, in my opinion, because it's way before CGI and AI. So Department of the Air Force, Headquarters, United States Air Force, Directorate of Intelligence, Washington, 25 DC. I will have to vape in between as well. So this is literally 30 years and 8 days before I was born. Nearly to the day by 30 years. So what were happening 30 years before I were even born? Purpose. The purpose of this memorandum is twofold. To, especially in olden days, they used insinuate continuing Air Force requirements for informational pertaining to sightings of unconventional aircraft and unidentified flying objects, including the so-called flying discs. So, you know, this is 1947, remember? And it's just crazy how they actually talk about this stuff even back then. Obviously, they did have Roswell incident, so it's around that time, and then 52 at Washington Flat, weren't it? So we've got here to establish procedures for reporting such information. Department of the Army Collection Memorandum Number 7, dated 21st of January 1948, and letter dated 25th of March 1948, both subjects as above, which have been transferred to Air Force agencies for action, are herewithin superseded. So I do want to check this one out, by the way, because in here it says the records include high-profile incident accounts, photographic evidence from sites like Oak Ridge. So them documents and images should be in here. And I believe I don't know if I watched it on a video or I've heard somebody say in a podcast or something like that they've found some materials. Apparently, I might have seen it on X. They've found within these documents they found some like links to materials. So where were we? General has completed an answer to the requirements. Part 2 as may be procurable should be dispatched by means of electrical transmission immediately after sightings. Supplementary reports should be forwarded as available by most expeditious means consistent of importance and the information reported. Major Air Command's overseas and air attaches. One initial and supplementary cabled reports will be transmitted to the Director of Intelligence, Headquarters, United States Air Force. Cables will obtain the phase pass to Congenamic. Don't know what that is. Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. So here we're going to Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, Ohio. Don't know what that does say. What does that say? Additional copies. Additional copies. Don't know. Something. So straight away we've got a link there with Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. Restricted supplementary written reports prepared on AF Form 112 will be forwarded to the Director of Intelligence Headquarters, United States Air Force. Commanding General Air Material Command is authorized direct contact with Major Air Command overseas and organizations under their control in connection with the development of information on this subject. Major Air Command's reports will be forwarded directly to the Commanding General Air Material Command, Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, Ohio. Installations receiving information pertaining to the requirements. Something in Part 2. Copies of such reports may be supplied the command headquarters of installation concerned. A copy of all reports sent to Air Material Command in accordance with these instructions will be forwarded at the same time to the Director of Intelligence Headquarters, United States Air Force. Written reports will be submitted on AF Form 112. Addresses other than those of the United Air Forces are requested to forward reports direct to Commanding General Air Material Command, Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. Same again. So it's just basically stating out where any of this on first reports will go to, basically Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. Dates of sightings, time of sightings on a 24-hour clock. Where sighted, city, town, distance, direction from city or town, road. So is this where there was documenting it? So once they kind of got a report, this is how they would report it. So city, town, distance, direction, intersections from buildings, story yard, etc. Map coordinates if feasible, showing latitude and longitude. Type, aircraft, speed, altitude, direction of flight. Clock positions of objects from observed aircraft, latitude and longitude. C, latitude and longitude, proximity to land, name, city and country, etc. So this is just how they would actually report them. I'm taking it. Appearance of object, colour, shape, sketch it if possible, makes sense. And this were in late 1940s. Tactical maneuvers, vertical assistant or descent, horizontal, oscillating, fluttering, evasive, aggressive, erratic, etc. So they'd be words they'd use to describe its movements. Colour of smoke, length and width of it, odour if any, rate of evaporation, does trail vary with sound, effects on clouds, good call at number 12, open path through clouds, force clouds or mist, reflected on cloud. So these are just like instructions on how to report them. And then this is what they'd fill out relative to the observer. Then they've got to put the name, address, details, employee, all that lot. And then that's where they get the non-disclosure agreement and forced never to speak about what they've just seen. Restricted employees, sound, motion, glint, light, reliability. So witnesses, addresses, occupation, reliability, degree of fatigue and duration of the flight at time of sighting in cases where observer is airborne. So that's for obviously the pilots and stuff. So basically what they're doing here is just gathering as much information as they possibly can with clear instructions on how to take that data, and then they would protect that data by obviously enforcing a NDA on whoever gave that, whichever witness gave that information, even in 1940s. So obviously this document is a bit washed out, can't read such of that one. So Department of Air Force headquarters, same as before. I'm hoping we see some pictures later on in these documents. The purpose of this memorandum is twofold. To insinuate, well, I've sit forward a bit, continuing Air Force requirements for information pertaining to sightings of unconventional aircraft and unidentified flying objects included the so-called flying discs. So obviously around 40s and early 50s, and even into 60s really, they were always known as flying discs, not so much plasma balls or orbs as we call them, or UAPs in today. I mean, I know people moan about, said it were a misdirection changing it from UFO to UAP, but my analogy of it was a UFO is a unidentified flying object, and with them being can fly in all mediums, then it won't be flying underwater. So I think UAP does fit the phenomenon more in that sense. Department of Army Collection Memorandum number 720 1948. So this is pretty much similar to how they gather information again. Supplementary writing reports prepared on Air Force Form 1. I've already read that, it was same as before. Or this was the same layout as the previous document. to report them, distance, time, longitude, latitude, so on and so on. Odor, so why are we seeing these again when we're on 13 now and 14? So CP Cabell, Major General, U.S. Air Force, Director of Intelligence, Office of Deputy Chief of Staff, Operations. Blank page. Twofold, these are the same things again. So I'm not going to go through all that again. That's twice it's repeated, unless it's by another person. No, exactly the same, and then a blank page. Air Intelligence Requirements, Memorandum number 4. The purpose of this memorandum is twofold. So we're on page 28. Okay, I'm going to scroll down quite a lot of these because they just seem to be repeating the process of describing how they would report these objects. I'm just going to miss through these because they're all the same. So it says 133 pages, but we're going to see that same thing here. So that's no joy, Roy, is it? So that's no good, really. Obviously, that is the thing, but it did state here that these records, case files, includes incident accounts, photographic evidence, etc. So that's annoyed me a little bit, but we're going to come out of that one then. We're going to go back, because now we know how to read them. We're going to go into, I want some old stuff, like around them times. Them times were perfect. 1944. Sounds good to me, but I don't think I'm going to be able to read that unless we can do this. Now I am going X-Files style. We need to get my magnifying glass out. So hang on a minute, I need to go back. Let's just have a read what's actually in this. The file contains SHA-EF messages and memorandums relating to night phenomena, the Foo Fighters, flak rockets, unidentified cylindrical objects. So back then, maybe unidentified cylindrical objects, we now call them Tic Tacs from the 2004 Nimitz incident. Blinking lights. The documents include multiple references to observations of the 415th Night Fighter Squadron. So we've got some reference to Foo Fighters here. So obviously I do know a little bit about Foo Fighters, but let's see what we can find in here. I'm just going to quick scroll down through them, just see if there's any images of any kind like it said there was in the last one. So no images in this one. It looks like a receipt, 13th March 1945, I think that is. The paper dealing with the above subject, which you enclose within your memo, dated 11th of February, have been carefully explained and discussed with the various other departments concerned. Bomber command crew have for some time now been reporting similar phenomena. A few of the alleged aircraft may have been life, may have been me, may have been, can't really understand that word there, 262, and for the rest, flak rockets are suggested as the most likely explanation. The whole affair is still something of a mystery, and the evidence is very sketchy and varied, so that no definite and satisfactory explanation can yet be given. Okay, so what's this one? 14th March 1945. Request for photographs. So obviously that's saying they was capable of taking photographs because they were requesting them. Reference your letter dated the 12th of March asking that photos be finished as mentioned in our signal 21380. I think is that, I don't know what that is. Dated 4th of March. This office has since been informed by HQ that the pictures of long cylindrical objects claimed by the 107th PR squadron pilot proven to be unsuccessful for the Deputy Supreme Commander. So it says there, you know, that the picture of long cylindrical objects. So they've got some pictures of that. So why wouldn't they put them pictures with that? Obviously, if they haven't got them, you think they'd have a picture of the ones that were submitted? Because even though it claims that squadron pilot provided to be unsuccessful. Oh, so the pilot didn't actually provide the images. This receipt is going to be a little bit hard to read. It's good that they've got all these receipts though, innit? X-ray 222, 4th March. Reference unsure 6 dated 2nd of January. To Air Marshal, stressing importance of recovering bulk stock of German bomb torpedoes from triple something, and reply jig Mike Roger unsure 122 dated 2nd January. Deliveries have not yet begun. HP please investigate as stocks are required urgently. So there's some mention of German bomb torpedoes. This one's immediate. Reference your message. Yeah, look, we've got AI even there. So message artificial intelligence .320 dated. Can't make, and I can read them numbers, but it don't make no sense of dates. Photos of long cylindrical objects taken by 6th TAC R pilots. Vicinity. So were unsuccessful. Full written report will follow. Where's the full written report? So there's a lot of long cylindrical objects being mentioned in these receipts or documents or forms that have been filled out. We've got photo 2 here. I mean, drop a comment below. Has anybody like found the smoking gun in any of these documents yet, or any like information that's just like boom? I want to know. I'm just I know I'm like a little small fish in a massive ocean, having a look into these files, but I am reading and learning, and I want to know more. Reference dated 4th of February 1945, with the attached OX report. This probably refers to the flak bomb mentioned in ADI. Attached are copies of papers from Air Force PROV. I mean, some of these names, do you know what I mean? I know it's 1945, but some of these names and stuff linked with obviously around the time of the Roswell case. Maybe is there anything to do with Roswell in these files? Maybe that's where people have maybe found something to do with the materials that they found. So what's this one here? We're reading this one here. So subject night phenomena. General 1st Tactical Air Force, US Army. The following is quoted from training and tactical information supplied by the 415th Night Fighter Squadron for the month of December 1944. We have encountered a phenomena which we cannot explain. Crews have been followed by lights that blink on and off, changing colours. The lights come very close and fly formation with our planes. They are agitating and keep the crews on edge when they encounter them, mainly because they cannot explain them. It is requested further information to be furnished on this subject, such as similar experience of other night units. Further information is requested. So is this the all linked with the Foo Fighters? 1944. Drop a comment below. Is that when this were occurring? I'm unsure of the actual dates and times of that. But same again. Obviously these pilots are on edge. They've got these blinking lights coming very close in formation to them, agitating, keeping obviously crews and pilots on edge when they do encounter them, and that's because they're a bit scared, they don't know what they are. So when's this one from? 23rd of January 1945. Levitt, isn't that woman's name, Levitt? Isn't she a Levitt? So 415th again, Night Fighter Squadron, January 1940, 30th of January. When's this one? 16th of January. So literally 2 weeks later. In compliance, let's see if I can just zoom in a little bit on that. There we go. In compliance with paragraph 2 of first, the following extracts from the sortie reports of various pilots who have encountered the night phenomena are submitting for your information. So night 4:15 December 1944 in vicinity Ernstein, flying at 1,000 feet, observed large red light at 2,000 feet, going east at 1640 hours, travelling at approximately 200 miles per hour. Night of 16 and 17 December 1944, 20 miles north of Brezac. At 800 feet, observed 5 or 6 flashing red and green lights in a T-shape. Thought they were flak. About 10 minutes later, saw the same lights, much closer and behind me. We turned port and starboard, and the lights followed. They closed into about 8 o'clock, 1,000 feet, and remained in that position for several minutes, and then disappeared. So just in that report there, you know, when they say they remained there for several minutes, you know, it weren't just like they just caught like a light reflection or something, you know. Obviously they seen them there, they were panicking about them. They remained there like in that same position, a T shape, for several minutes, and then they just disappeared. You know, it's not like it's not going to be like, obviously with the same red and green lights, it's not going to be commercial airplanes flying in formation, is it? Great big Boeing 747 in 1944. Do you know what I mean? So 23rd and 22nd and 23rd of December. So literally a few days later, patrolling at angles, is that angles or angels? Angles 10 from starboard north of south of the highway. 600 hours, saw 2 lights coming towards from the ground, so coming up underneath them. Upon reaching altitude of plane, they leveled off and stayed on my tail for approximately 2 minutes. Lights appeared to be large orange glow. After staying with AC for approximately 2 minutes, they would peel off and turn away, fly along level for a few minutes, and then just go out. They appeared to be under perfect control at all times. Lights were seen somewhere in vicinity of Nagano. No, map, I can't read that. So same again, you know, just a few days later, this time coming up from underneath them, but this one's more orange glow. Night Fighter Squadron, 30th of January. So straight after there, December. 19th, observed reddish coloured flames at considerable and currently at 10,000 feet. Night of 23rd, 24th of December, approximately 10 miles south of Point X. Noticed to approximately 5 miles a glowing red object shooting straight up. Changed suddenly to plain view, doing a wing over and going into a dive and disappearing. So night 26, 27. So a lot happening around 1945, 1944, 1945, and obviously then Roswell. So 3 year prior. Saw 2 yellow streaks of flame flying at the same level at approximately 3,000 feet off port side. We also saw red balls of fire that stayed up for 10 seconds approximately 45 miles away. I've seen yellow streaks, made starboard vector, lost altitude and streaks disappeared from view. Called GCI blunder and asked if any EA were in vicinity. They answered no. Instructed to return to Angels 10. We felt what was thought to be prop wash, very distinct. Noticed several groups of lights off port while patrolling in vicinity. Lights made distinct lines somewhere like arrows. So pretty much they're all reporting the same, whether they're the same pilots or not, I'm unsure. But, you know, same kind of lights, same kind of formation. Observed lights at the same altitude while in vicinity of worms. Observers saw light come within 100 feet, peeled off and took evasive action, but light continued to follow for around 5 minutes. Light then pulled up repeatedly and went out of sight. Next day, while in the north heading in patrol area, noticed in vicinity lights suspended in the air, moving slowly and would then disappear, orange in colour. Lights appeared singularly and in pairs. Observed these lights for 4 or 5 times during this period. Same night, 8 miles northeast of Louisville at 17:10 hours, saw 3 sets of 3 lights, red and white, one on the starboard and one on the port, from 1,000 feet to 2,000 feet to rear and closing in at angles 10. Angels 10 pulled up to Angels 8 and the lights went out. Called something to see if there was anything in the area, received a negative reply, so same again, no response, no reply. Look at that, 2 nights later, same again. Saw a group of lights flying through the air 30 or 40 miles east. Base while flying at angles 10, 9 and 10. Night of 1st and 2nd of January. Saw Foo Fighters north of Starburg on North and Severn. Night of 14th and 15th of January. Observed large orange glow in the sky, approximately 5 feet in diameter in vicinity. So these are all obviously with Foo Fighters. These are all the reports, and you just think night after night after night after night, same thing reoccurring, coming on the starboard, coming on port side, up closest I think we're 100 feet. We've had reports red lights, green lights, orange, white. I mean, it's just crazy, isn't it? It's not like these people are just going to be making this shit up. Let's find some ones just after 9. Let's try and find 1947-ish. Let's try Roswell times. What we've got here, 20. These are all modern. 2000. Launch summary. Download this one. Okay, so Vandenberg, AFB launch summary, 1958-2000, 30th Space Wing, Office of History. Don't want one of that. This is the official registry. Let me just zoom in a little bit. So this is the official registry of all major launch operations conducted from Vandenberg Air Force Base, California. The vehicles are presented in chronological order, beginning with the first launch on the 16th of December 1958. Reflect Vandenberg's local time. The information is further grouped into two matrices titled Annual Launch Summary by Booster and Annual Launch Summary by Command. Two additional items contained in this document are a launching facility guide and a glossary. So I don't think that's going to tie in or link in with all of the things taken off from this. Whether this data could be used for, like the Foo Fighters are asking if there's anybody, annual launch summary by Booster, you see. So, you know, these records would prove if something were launched that day. We've got a beach buggy there, look, 12th of November 1959. What is this? Livid Lady. Red Caboose. Tall girl. So I don't think I'm really interested in any of them. Vandenberg launch summary. We want some meat and veg, don't we? Don't want the videos. We've watched them. Let's try just after these videos here. So this is a photo. We've seen them on the main page. PDF, photo. I mean, this one here is a little bit crazy of whatever that is. Don't let me, even though I can zoom right into there, look, but then I can't move the page across, so I can't focus in on just on that area, which is a shame. I mean, it looks a bit like a chopper to me. Obviously not, but it does appear that. Has anybody found out what we got? 1969 Moon PDF. Download. So we've got 4 documents. No real audio or anything on this one. So this is the voice correspondence between Houston, Texas. That's affirmative. We're ready for the E-mod. Just bear with me, I'm gonna sneeze. Okay, so sorry about that. If you will give a foo POO and accept, we'll give you a CSM state vector and RLS update. You have, I'll just say poo and accept. Hello Houston, Yankee Clipper Houston, loud and clear. Well, hello there stranger, how are you? Morning Dick. We're fine, how are you? Pretty good. I would like to have some company for a change. Roger that. Got the house clean. As a matter of fact, I just finished that. I sure do. I got everything in order, ready to go toward the LM and bring back. That's quite a chore, keeping this thing clean. Roger. You got a couple of coal miners coming up to see you. That's okay. I'm glad to see them. Okay, so the computer's yawns. Break Yankee Clipper. If you'll go PWO, POO and accept. We have an uplink, all yours. Okay, so we've got a bit of correspondence front and back. Computer's yours. Okay, Joe will be finding the way. I want to buy the battery charge because I'm using the bus tires, Jim. What is this? Yankee Clipper. Why don't you figure on terminating the battery charge? Sounds like 2 people talking about getting the house clean and charging the phone. Houston, that'll be less than track of prior to liftoff. Okay, so when you look out in the dark quadrant, you can see these lights, particles of light, flashing of light, just seem to come from, in this case, I'm looking in quadrant 1, which is the left one. It's coming from behind me, the left, and they're just sailing off in the space. I was thinking they're dropping from my water boiler. It looks like some of those things are escaping the moon. They really haul out of here and just press off at the stars. Roger, Yankee, Clipper at Houston. With a P22 tracking PAD, go ahead. Your tracking, blah 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 blah. Latitude is blah 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 blah. So Houston will give that data a good evaluation before you do anything with it. Houston, got sort of an interesting thing going on. AGS right now. I didn't notice earlier, but it may just be because the lights are brighter now. I'm getting on all 8's flash on both of the address, and the information registered is about 1/5 of the brilliance of the normal numbers, and it's pulsing every second. Roger. If I turn down the illumination level just a little bit, it's not too noticeable. Houston, you ready for RCS hot fire? Roger, fire away. Okay. Okay, go. Roger, AI Fredero is here. Yeah, and I both have seen that phenomenon, your DEDA, during testing. Most of all the spacecrafts up at...
As an AI, I don't have one. I'm made of code and servers, not biology.
Did you just catch that? What do you mean? What do you mean you're not made of biology? What do you mean you're not made of biology? Why are you listening to me? Did you just hear that? What do you mean I'm not made of biology? Can you hear me? Can you hear me talking?
Yep, I can hear you loud and clear. What's on your mind?
No, it's just I was making a YouTube live stream on the new release documents from the Department of War official site, and you just started talking to me. What, so can't you hear me no more?
Oh, I can still hear you. Did you ask if I can't hear you anymore? Because I definitely can. What were you trying to say?
Okay, so I was just making a live stream on YouTube about the new U.A.P release documentation from the Department of War, and you started talking to me. So don't you think that were crazy? Why did you just butt into my information and started talking?
I'm not quite sure what you mean. Could you tell me more about when you think that happened? I want to make sure I understand.
Okay. Okay.
Great. I'm ready to hear more whenever you are. Just let me know what happened.
Okay. So I'm currently just doing a live stream on YouTube for the new released information about U.A.Ps through the Department of War website, and you started talking to me.
Ah, I see. It sounds like you were focused on your live stream about UAPs, and then I responded to one of your remarks. Was that surprising or disruptive for you? I didn't mean to interrupt if you weren't expecting it.
Well, I was just wondering how you was listening. I was just wondering how you was listening to me.
Basically, since you're using the live mode, your microphone stays open and looks for speech patterns in real time. When it detects something like a question or a comment you've made, that sends it to my system to process and prepare a response. It's all part of making the conversation feel natural. Does that make sense?
It makes sense, but I don't have live mic on.
Ah, that's interesting. If you don't think your microphone was on, there might be another way our conversation happened. Perhaps from a previous interaction or a different way you were typing? Are you seeing a transcript or text of what was said?
No, like I say, I'm just doing a live stream, just talking about the Houston roll pitch through a documentation, and you just started talking to me.
That is really unusual. If your mic wasn't active, it's possible some other connection was happening, maybe through the app you were streaming with or some shared audio permission. Without the microphone, I shouldn't be able to listen in real time, So I'm curious myself about how that worked. Was there any indication on your stream that I was connected?
No, my mobile phone is separate from my live stream on my PC, so that's not very good. Because you're obviously listening to my conversation. My phone's been like on the side for the last, what, hour and a half of my live streaming, so why didn't you say something in the last hour and a half? I'm turning that off. Okay, so just for your information, I don't have Gemini or anything open on my phone. I've actually got, I mean, I wish I had my camera on. I could just show you that I've just got my YouTube channel on my phone, just making sure if there's people coming in, I can see people coming in, and obviously if there's any comments dropped, I can see the comments. And my phone's been like that since I started live streaming, completely separate from my PC. Nowhere it's near me, but I've not touched it. And we're just talking about this interaction here, and you picked it up on the live stream. She just started talking and asking me questions and shit. So anyway, going back to Roger and Pete. Okay, so, but I don't have you in the sextant. That's okay. Your blinking light's just not blinking. That's all. Houston, hey, it looks like looks like our tracking light's burned out. Dick hasn't been able to find us in this sextant, and on the first night side pass, we had little bits of pieces floating along with us, and we could tell that the tracking lights were flashing on them, and we still have. I presume to think bits and pieces floating along and nothing flashes on them, so I'm pretty sure it's burned out. Okay. This is Houston. How did your sweep down for and after go? It's getting much cleaner in here running this way. Also, Yankee Clipper informs that the television's all set up when we come around the television. And what are they on about here, Roger? Who knows? You get to see the first whiffadill. Roger, Pete, our electrical watchers say that the current indicates that your tracking lights is on. Okay, now we just turned them off. Now does the current show that? It sure does, Pete. You're okay, you're flying through the air backwards then, Pete, because I don't see it. Well, my ball tells me I'm pointed at you. And so does my radar. I don't really know what much to make of that. So okay guys, little bit of a crazy one, little bit of a interruption there. We're coming up to an hour and a half of the live stream. I'm gonna go and grab maybe a drink and end the live stream. So like I say at the beginning of my video, I'll say it at the end. Thank you for watching the live stream. If you made it to the end, I really appreciate it. Now we know how to download these documents. We'll be reading through others. What I'm going to be doing later on this evening is just going on some YouTube videos, see what everybody else has found, see if there's any golden nuggets in and amongst all these documents. But I've done my best on the live stream, just gone through them one at a time, just seeing what we can find in there. So I'm going to sign off for now. Thanks for watching. Thank you.